is time. It is time to brew your best beer.
The 2016 Sjporr Challenge is dedicated to your friend and ours, Paul Wickstein. Brought to you by Brewcraft USA, iMake, Gladfield Malting, Yakima Valley Hops, The Grain Bill, Brewers Exchange, Cake Kingdom Homebrew Supply, Hiraki Homebrew, and a special thanks to our silver sponsors.
Kevin Clements Homebrew coming at you. Hey, it is the 2016 Sjporr Challenge. This is the U.S.-Canada World Finals. And doing these reviews today, I've got 63F-94C-46E. And I've written out this is a dry hopped passion fruit Berliner Weiss, and it's new school style Berliner. It's kettle soured with probiotics, no boil, 0 IBUs. Interesting. Passion fruit added to end of primary. Big dry hop of Citra and Mosaic, and it says best enjoyed a little warm than fridge temps. So I've had it just out briefly, but we'll be warming it up as we go. All right, we'll get the pour. Here's the last bit in, as always. Wow, that's really clear. I mean, look at the colors on that. That's interesting. It's very much golden, a light golden color, and pretty clear. The head, just no head. Usually when you get a small head, you want a small head on a Berliner Weiss, which will fade away quickly. And I really don't see bubbles rising up the side, which is kind of interesting on this. So let's go ahead and get the nose. Wow, you clearly get the passion fruit. There's no question about it. Oh, God, and that's a lovely passion fruit. The nose on this is absolutely wonderful. I mean, I get a little bit of the malt bill on there. I don't really get the wheat aspects because there's wheat as well, so you kind of expect that. I don't get much of the Pilsner, but I do get that there's a sweet malt underneath. It is kind of but it's a mild nose. I mean, I would expect that kind of with the wheat. It's slightly hazy, but I'll tell you what, it's pretty clear, particularly for having wheat in it. But you definitely get this really bright passion fruit, and you definitely get the Citra coming through as well. I mean, it's a nice kick of the Citra, more specifically than the Mosaic. Yeah, you really get that light cattiness, as they say, and those other aromas that you normally expect from Citra. And it's like there's like some bright lemon, but I'm getting other fruits as well. Besides the passion fruit, of course, I get some lemon, but I get like a little bit of orange on there, more like a tangerine, actually. I mean, it's odd, I get like what feels like the lightest bit of a pininess to it as well. But it just smells wonderful. I'm going to take a little time with this. I'm going to make some notes and I'll be back. As it's warmed, I've gotten more of those qualities that you expect from Mosaic coming through now. And I get some of the berry aspects, but I get some other like tropical nose coming through besides just the passion fruit. I have to say the nose on this is fantastic. So we're gonna dive in. Cheers. The front side of the palate came through really, I hate saying it, almost bland. You're so expecting to get all this like juicy flavor that really didn't come across that way at all. It's very much has the wheat aspect in it. So it's just kind of a very smooth quality. There's a light sour to it. Which is nice, and again, I think it's a little lighter in the sour than I normally get from a Berliner Weiss, but it's still very pleasing. I think it's, in terms of the amount of the sourness to it, is something great for like a beginner, someone new to sours. This would be great. So I'm going to continue to warm this. I'll be back. I had to laugh. I asked Kahlua Barb to get a nose out. She goes, "Ooh, it smells like cat pee." And I go, "You got the Citra." So you swirl this and then look all the bubbles that rise up. They're really well hidden in there. It's very fine, and that is very classic for the style. So I start allowing this to warm to see what other flavors I can pull out. And there's stuff in there for sure. I wish that the passion fruit was as present on the taste as it is in the nose. As it warms, I'm getting a little bit more of the wheat character on the nose. It's good. It's funny. The nose, I really get a huge bit of the Citra followed by the Mosaic. And the taste, I don't get much Mosaic at all. I do get some of the Citra coming through. On the taste, it's more in terms of the flavors of the Berliner Weiss itself. The passion fruit is starting to come through a little bit more as it warms. Again, it's very mild. But I got to tell you what I really like is this, in terms of like the carbonation on it, and I mean just the way it drinks is so classic to that Berliner Weiss style, because it's really properly carbonated. I mean, that Berliner Weiss is supposed to have that real effervescence. And while you really don't see it all, that's why I was showing you the swirl, how things build up quickly, because really there are all those fine bubbles through there. That part is just beautifully done. I get a lot more of the lemon type qualities. A lot of those are esters that come off the yeast with the souring. It's just, I think it's a well-crafted beer. I think it's like super well done. As far as like anything I could suggest, I think as far as whoever brewed this, they brewed the style well. Even though they did some maybe experimental things possibly, I think they did a really beautiful classic brew. I think personally the only thing that's lacking is you needed to have more of that passion fruit flavor in there. Since you've called it passion fruit, it's in the nose, but you need to have more of that in the taste. I do really enjoy Berliner Weiss when they have the fruits added. I love that, but I like to get more of the fruit, and it probably takes quite a bit to do that. I always like to do this in these styles. I'm going to kind of mix this up and pour the last bit in, because often some of those flavors are hiding in the bottom of the bottle. Yeah, not really. It added maybe just a slight bit of funk, which is fun, and I appreciate. Didn't change it dramatically. But this is a great beer. For me anyway, I enjoy Berliner Weiss. I think this one's well crafted. So for 63F-94C-46E, well done. Beautiful beer. I can see why you're in the finals. Cheers. We'll catch y'all on the next review.